Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us here on the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection on this Wednesday, August 12th. I'm Deb Gillard, your host, and we are so very glad you're with us. Whether it is Charter Channel 181, where you can find us here locally in the Owatonna area, and of course, along with everyone else, we have moved into the age of being accessible almost everywhere. Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and by the way, if you like us there, then you'll get just a quick notification when the new shows are uploaded each week. Also, the thirdhandvideo.com, you can find us all over the place, and let your friends know that may live out of the Charter Channel viewing area that is the way they can find the Owatonna Today Show. We welcome your information about events that are coming up in the community. We always do announcements at the end of the program. Also, if you have ideas for guests or show topics that you think might be interesting for us, or have something that you would like to come on the show for, please get a hold of Leanne at 390-5751, or just email us at owatonnatoday@charter.net, and we'll take a look at that information. We have a wonderful show for you today, a full house with our first guest segment, and we're going to be talking about the Owatonna Police Department Reserve Unit, what it's all about, how you might want to get involved. A little bit later on in the program, we will meet Kim Purscell, new Executive Director of the Steele County Historical Society. So let's take this break for our great sponsors, and we'll be coming right back. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Rick Smith, Golf Course Superintendent of the Brooktree Golf Course. Brooktree is an 18-hole championship golf course featuring well-manicured greens, tees, and fairways. We are open to the public. I challenge you to find a better maintained golf course for the money we charge here at Brooktree. Come on out and play Brooktree, a great golf course.
Hello, I'm David Einhaus with the Owatonna Foundation. Thank you to all of our donors who have helped make Owatonna a better place to live. Will you join us today with a financial gift? Owatonna Foundation is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back, and again, thanks for joining us here on your Community Connection, the Owatonna Today Show on this Wednesday, August 12th. I got a full table again here today with Sergeant Rob Kniefel of the Owatonna Police Department. How are you, Rob?
Fine, Deb, thank you.
And I have, I got to get this right, Kyle Martin
Yep.
Joining us from the Reserve Unit, and Michael Haglund, right?
Yep.
From the Reserve Unit as well. So we're going to be talking a little bit about what the Reserve Unit is, what they do, how to get involved, and so we'll kind of start with you, Rob, in regards to what it's kind of all about as an overview.
Sure. We wanted to stop down today and remind the public that your local Owatonna Police Department does have a reserve division, a reserve unit, and that currently we are accepting applications for membership in the reserve.
Okay.
I am a patrol sergeant with the Owatonna Police Department, and I am one of the reserve coordinators. And I brought Kyle and Mike with me today to give their perspectives on what it is to be a reserve member,
Okay.
and also address any questions that you might think the community might have.
Perfect. We will dig right into that. How many people are currently involved in the Reserve Unit?
Currently, I think we are down to a 15 membership.
Okay.
Our charter, granted to us by the Owatonna City Council, allows us for a reserve unit of 20 members.
Okay.
So we have a few openings.
Okay, that you would like to fill.
Yes,
Okay.
very much so.
And Kyle, and do you go by Michael or Mike?
Michael.
Michael, okay. I have a son named Michael, and I only call him Michael too, so yeah. And just want to get kind of your perspective on it and how you got involved in it. So we'll start with you, Kyle, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit about yourself. What led you here? Where are you from?
I'm currently residing in Faribault right now, and I went to school down in Riverland and Austin for law enforcement.
Okay.
So I'm a pre-law enforcement student, currently graduated, and looking for a job in law enforcement. And I thought this would be a great step in helping me get into the career and better help the community here in Owatonna.
Okay. And so we were talking about a little bit before we started the program, being pre-law enforcement is one type of person that might be on the reserve unit. It's a logical step, it sounds like. It gives you some of that experience that, maybe looks good on a resume for wherever you might go, and gives you kind of that first taste coming out of school.
Yep.
And a little bit of what law enforcement is all about. Michael, a little bit different situation here, and you're a reserve, these are volunteers?
Correct, they
Correct?
are. Yes. the vast majority of the events or details that they work is strictly volunteer.
Okay.
But there are occasions, either through donations or service projects, where we are able to offer them an hourly rate.
Okay.
But the emphasis here is that this is a community service opportunity for people,
Okay.
a way to serve the community.
I didn't mean to come back to you and pull it away from Michael. It's just that I started to say volunteer, and I thought I better correct myself in case I was wrong. So
Yep.
let's get to know you a little bit, Michael. Where are you from, and what's your situation with the reserve unit?
I'm not from the Owatonna area, but I have been here for
Oh,
4
we're sorry
years.
about that. No, we're glad
I
you're here.
work at Federated Insurance here in town,
Okay.
and have for about 4 years. Prior to that, I lived up in the cities, and then I've lived in several other states as well.
Okay.
So I don't know where I'm from, but I'm here now.
And that's the important thing.
Yeah.
And what prompted you to get involved in the reserve unit?
You know, I spent 8 years serving my nation in the Army Reserve.
Thank you for
And I
your
was
service.
looking for a way that I could give back to my local community here as well.
Okay.
So when the Owatonna Police Reserve Unit was founded a little over 2 years ago, I saw the advertisement and thought it'd be a great fit for me to serve the community here in Owatonna.
Okay, so there's a minimum requirement, so someone like yourself who's involved in other employment, and you're not heading into police work, then there's a minimum requirement of what, Rob?
The minimum age requirement is 18. We also ask that you are either have completed high school or have received your GED.
Okay, so have you had reserve, do we call them officers, reserve
Absolutely,
officers?
they are-
Okay.
they are reserve officers,
Reserve
yes.
officers as young as 18 and in high school age?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have.
Very nice, and then, but it goes all the way up to just about any age?
There
that
is no
people would
there is
wanna
no
be
there is no
involved?
age cap. This is a community service opportunity. It's not about being a police officer or wanting to be a police officer. It's strictly about wanting to serve the community and
Okay.
give back, and through the venue of the Owatonna Police Department.
Men and women, I'm guessing, are both
Absolutely,
welcome.
absolutely.
Who just want to give back to their community.
In fact, some of the openings that we have now are due to a number of officers that were in Kyle's position that were pre-service law enforcement, including a couple of young ladies, and they have both moved on and received law enforcement jobs in the
Okay.
field of their choice.
Okay, so that's how we would lose somebody potentially.
Yes, yes.
So then we want to fill those spots. And in regards to how much time they need to put in, how about that? I mean, obviously some people in the reserve are going
Yep.
to have a little bit more time than others.
Yes. We offer a monthly meeting where we train and discuss topics so that everybody's up to speed and on the same page as where we're going as a unit.
Okay.
We can't make a mandated minimum service hours because it is a volunteer position. So
Okay.
we take what we can get from who's ever willing to serve us.
Okay.
But these guys could maybe speak better to that, but some members put in a lot of hours, some put in 10 to 15 to 20. Some members that have a lot of time that are able to devote to the unit put in 40.
Okay, okay. Well, let's take a look at that. Michael, about how much time are you able to devote to the reserve unit, like you say, in the course of a month?
Yeah, each month really varies, and it kind of depends on what the month is. So these summer months, we're very busy.
Right.
We have events, probably several events each week, usually.
So just to stop there too, and kind of tell us about what some of those events would be that you're involved with.
A lot of them are like the 5Ks here in town will help
Sure.
direct traffic for those so the runners can run safely. This past week we did Night to Unite, which is a big event here in Owatonna where communities will have block parties and invite the Owatonna Police Department, the fire department, as well as city members to come out and visit with them. We'll talk to them about the Police Reserve Unit, the Owatonna Police Department, the Everett Bridge system here in town. So
Okay.
the events really do vary, and
So you might be a little more involved in the summer than you are
Yep.
other times.
Yep.
Do you find yourself kind of having an average amount of time that you put in?
probably around 20 hours a month or so,
Okay.
I think is what I get. Outside of those events, we also do reserve patrol is what we call it. So we'll go into the park systems, we'll patrol the parks, the trail systems between the parks, make sure the parks are safe and a fun place for the families here in Owatonna to be in.
Perfect. And how about you, Kyle? How much time do you find that you're able to spend with the reserve unit?
I do as much as I can.
Okay.
currently I'm sitting at about over 500 hours of volunteer time since the inception in March of 2013. So I've
good for you.
done a lot of time and a lot of volunteer work, whether most of mine have been the patrols. With my daily job, it's on the weekends, so I'm not readily available on the weekends for the events that are happening. But for the most part, I do the reserve patrol, making sure that the parks are secured and safe and everything like that, and then helping the licensed officers with other calls if they need, and just being there as a visual out in the city.
Okay, so a good visual, a good support, just good, it sounds like community relations when you talk about things like Night to Unite. Just another way for our community members also to get to know our law enforcement department, I think.
Yeah, they actually, we rely, the licensed officers rely on the reserve division heavily. We're to the point where we're definitely a 24/7 city, and without the reserve unit, our officers would be overburdened.
Okay, all right, so still looking for a few more volunteers. Again, you could use another 5 or so to fill it up to the...
We take applications 24/7, 365 days a year, but right now we could use a couple of extra members to take some of the pressure off of these guys, these hardworking guys here.
Anything that someone would particularly look for? We've got somebody with military experience background, somebody that is pre-law enforcement. Other than you mentioned a completed high school or GED, is there any real requirement?
The requirements, like I say, 18 years of age, have completed high school, and just a strong desire to serve the community. We have a number of different tasks and duties that the Reserve Division does for us that doesn't require vast physical strength, basically a driver's license to be able to drive a vehicle. As they mentioned, we patrol the parks. We have an ATV that we use for that. It's just about wanting to serve the community and help augment the police department.
So me, who I could be both of these young men's mother, but if I said, okay, I'm a woman and I'm this age and I would like to join, I just need to go through the application process, stop in and grab an application, or give a call to whom?
Absolutely. If they have questions and want to know more information, they can either contact our Patrol Division's Administrative Assistant, Pam Roberts, and her number is 774-7200. They can also contact me at the police station. My office number is 774-7217, or they can walk in the lobby of the police station, and when you come into the lobby, walk to the left and walk up to the window that says Parking Control, where Pam's office is located.
Perfect. We'll get you some people there. It sounds like a great thing for somebody who, again, like you said, wants to serve the community. Michael, thank you for your service. Kyle, for yours, and Rob also for yours and doing the great job you do with the police department. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us.
Thank you, Deb.
All right, we'll take a break for our supporters, and we'll come right back and talk with Kim.
It's fair time again in Owatonna, Minnesota's biggest county fair, the Steele County Free Fair. Runs August 18th to the 23rd. It's a show for the whole family. Over 40 thrilling rides on the Gold Star Amusement Midway. David Smith Jr.'s back for 2 human cannonball shots daily on the Midway, sponsored by Owatonna Motors. 6 great grandstand shows, beer garden entertainment every night. It's food, fun, and screams in 2015. The Steele County Free Fair in Owatonna, August 18th to the 23rd.
Hi, my name is Dave Efforts with TPS Insurance. We're here to handle all your insurance needs. We are a very proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
I didn't just want another job, I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
I was new to town and I didn't know where to turn for a job, so I decided to express myself.
I decided to express myself, and they helped find the right career for me.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Hi, this is Doug Johnson at the Owatonna Business Incubator, a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show. We'd like to welcome you to the incubator. If you're a small business, whether you're existing or a startup, we can help you with office space, manufacturing or warehouse, and free confidential counseling.
Welcome back. It is Wednesday, August 12th. We are your community connection. We are the Owatonna Today Show, and we have, as promised, Kim Purscell. Hello.
It's so good to see you.
Very nice to see you, too. We are talking about a little bit of history, which goes way back.
It does. It really does. In your radio days,
Oh, my
chamber
goodness.
days.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little, and it just had, we kind of have to say it just because we are right around the corner from the fair, but once upon a time when I was back at the radio station, we started off the day, and I don't know if they still do with KRFO, at the Aurora Diner.
Yep.
And we broadcast our morning shows live from there and had the guests come in. So it was a 5:30 in the morning up for me.
Yes.
Yep, guests had breakfast. We sat at the Aurora Diner and did our morning show
We
from
did.
there, and oh my goodness. And you were at the chamber at the time.
I
So I'm sure
was.
we had you on plenty, but oh, those were some long days.
They
My-
were.
Oh my, I
They
couldn't
were
do that
fun.
anymore. I don't think I could anyway.
I look fondly back at them, though. I really do.
Well, I do too. Every time I go or stop into the Owatonna or Aurora Diner, or even pass by it, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, yes, there's that white building where I was so many
true.
early mornings.
Yes.
But a lot of time has passed since then. A lot of experience for both of us into
Yes.
different things and avenues in our life, and we are so happy to have you here and introduce you as the new executive director of the
Thank
Steele
you.
County Historical Society.
It is so awesome to be back in the community.
It
And
seems like a great fit.
yeah, today's day 6 on the job, so I'm still very, very new and learning a lot and feeling a little overwhelmed, because,
Yeah.
but it's such an incredible organization with tons of volunteers and great staff, and just a really well-oiled machine. Things just happen, and so I'm thrilled to be there.
So you dropped into the well-oiled machine and you're just moving right along.
That's
aren't you?
right,
I
that's
know it.
right.
Well, just a little bit for folks that don't know you, and Kim has been involved in a number of things here in and around Owatonna, and we mentioned the chamber being one of them. Some of the experience that how long have you lived here?
23 years.
23 years. Okay, I got you beat at 35, but yeah, I knew you had been around for a long time too. But and some of the positions that you have held that kind of have led you to this, Kim.
Sure. Well, obviously the chamber, as we talked about, and then from there I went to the Initiative Foundation and worked there for a year and a half, I believe. I went there just to fill in for maternity leave and ended up staying for much longer.
That's how some of those things work.
That's
yeah.
true. That's true. I worked with my husband at Technology Navigators for 5 years. I also worked at the newspaper for a while, and then most recently I was at the United Way up in Faribault.
Up in Faribault.
Yes.
Glad to be back here in Owatonna.
I'm very happy to be back.
Good.
Yeah, you know, Faribault's a wonderful community, but there's something just extra special about Owatonna.
Aw.
And to come back just feels so right and really,
Well,
really exciting.
As involved as you have been, I'm guessing even a move to Faribault, you kind of have to start connections all over again too.
Yes.
So, you know, and that had been many years in the making here. So it
Right.
probably feels a little more settled, a little more like home, a little more, you know, you have those connections
Very
and people
true.
who you can talk to about being on the fair.
That's right.
Many years ago at the Aurora Diner and stuff like that. But, you know, so
Exactly.
it probably just feels kind of like you're back home again.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does. And, you know, stepping into the Historical Society, you know, when I was first at the chamber, my first job was the director of tourism. And so I was promoting the village of yesteryear and the orphanage and a number
Yeah.
of our tourist sites. And so got to really embrace the uniqueness of the village way back then,
Yeah.
which, you know, I kind of jokingly say it was last millennium, but it was, you know, it was in the 90s.
It was.
But then now to come back and not only am I promoting the village, but this incredible history center, which is an incredible gem for our county. And all of the services that we're doing there just are exponential compared to what we had even.
What they were able to do, really.
Yes.
Yes, within the confines of the village and the Donnell House office. And,
Right,
you know,
right.
but the genealogy and the speakers and the
Yes.
ability to host events and
Yes.
have these great traveling displays, all of which you are finding more and more about, I'm sure,
I
as the
am,
days go by.
and it's just so exciting because it feels kind of like detective work, you know. It's like peeling back layers of the county and being able to say, what more can we find? We've got so much, but then there's always something new. And it's just really, really a lot of fun to be there. And because there is so much going on, it just feels like such a hub of activity for the community. Yeah.
And a hub of activity it will be next week during the fair. So you're
Yes.
jumping in. It's kind of baptism by fire, isn't it?
So
With
true.
that all going on. But
So true.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the events that are coming up that were already in place, which you're going to help to see through.
Sure. Well, obviously, the Village and the History Museum will be open. And we got to thank our two sponsors, Triumph Graphics and Federated Insurance, because they
Thank you
have
to them.
underwritten the cost of admission for anyone during the fair to come in and see the exhibits at the historical or at the History Center. And so we've got the Vietnam exhibit going on. We have oh dear, all of a sudden I drew a blank.
That's okay. You're brand new.
And we have the Ellendale display, and we still have a part of a display from last year, which is coming of age in the 1960s.
Oh,
And
okay.
so those are our exhibits in the History Center. The Village is open. All of the buildings will be open through the fair. We've got stage entertainment, the Village stage right in the center of the Village.
Perfect.
And we have entertainment Wednesday through Sunday. We've got, let's see, what else do we have? Of course, the Pop Stand, Beaver Lake Pop Stand,
yeah.
if you've ever been there. We're going to be serving old-fashioned ice cream floats, which are a favorite.
Always have to have one, at least one of those
At
during the fair. Yes,
least.
yes.
And for those people who are conscious of calories, we will have some diet root beer. And
then put it with a scoop of ice cream.
Exactly. It does even out.
Yeah, one cancels out. Well, I'm not sure, but Fair Week is everything goes to heck anyway. So.
That's right. And then of course we're going to have live entertainment in the Donnell House. We've got local piano players who are going to be entertaining the guests, and so it's just going to be a fun-filled week.
It will.
Yes.
It will. Once we get past the fair, then there's no shortage of things I think coming up into, and again, as I mentioned, always the speakers and.
Right.
Things going on there too, but what else is happening as we get into September?
Well, we've got our genealogy group, which meets regularly through the month, and so they'll meet again on the first Tuesday of the month.
Okay.
We have free children's programming every month, the first Thursday, and that is for pre-K in the mornings, and then for K through 6 in the evenings.
Okay.
And it is where history comes to life, and the kids can be a part of that, and that's free.
Okay.
And so that's really excellent. Then we have Tim Penny is coming in to do our next lecture on the 10th. And which will be fascinating. It's called The Story Behind the Photo. And, you know, as he was congressman, he has many, many stories, many,
bet he
many
does.
photos. And
Okay.
so we're excited to have him. And then, of course, the Harvest to History, which I'm going to be back in a couple weeks and we'll talk more about.
bit
That's
more
a
about that.
huge event for us in September. And so I won't talk a lot about that right now. And then our Vietnam Roundtable. This is the second one. We've had one earlier in the year, and it's part of the exhibit that we have. We try to complete some of the learning by having dialogue and sharing of stories.
Okay.
So you're not just observing artifacts and history, but you can actually relive it through some of the people who were there.
Okay, wonderful. Did you get good participation at the first one, do you know?
We did. Actually,
Community-wide?
the room was full.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Yes.
a lot of people wanting to talk about a lot of things.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
and so
wonderful.
this time, as we did last, there will be a panel and of local people, and all sharing their stories, and then opening it up for audience participation and dialogue.
So some of the things you mentioned, like the children's groups, genealogy, if somebody is just saying, maybe they haven't done anything with genealogy, but they want to get started, do they just come? Do they call? I'm guessing it's open to anybody who
It
is
is.
interested?
They sure can. They can come. We've got a whole genealogy room, and we have volunteers there that will help to do research for people.
Okay.
And so, yeah, if anyone is interested in doing some research into their backgrounds, and I really encourage people to do that. You know, you learn so much about yourself in today's generation by looking back to see where your family came from.
Fun stories, lots of neat things that people find out.
Very much.
Membership, you're always looking for members
We are.
to be a part of the Historical Society, so I'm guessing that a good time to solicit some of that is during the fair. People are coming,
Right.
they're seeing what it's all about. What, in a nutshell, does membership, we're going to have to wrap up here too, but
Okay.
Just in a nutshell, what does membership get?
You get free admission to the exhibits whenever. You also get a discounted admission to museums all around the country that are part of the program.
Okay.
And you get our quarterly newsletters and invitations to all sorts of different activities that are happening around there.
Definitely look into that when
Yes.
you're looking into and traveling through the village of yesteryear. Kim, thanks so much for joining us.
My
And
pleasure.
as she mentioned, she'll be back on again here in a couple of weeks talking about more in depth, and you'll have your feet just a little more wet
Yes.
at that time, and be
Yes.
post fair as well. So
Right.
welcome back
Thank you.
to Owatonna.
Thank you.
And to the Steele County Historical Society, Kim. Thanks
Thank
for joining us. We'll take a break for our supporters, and we'll be back to wrap up for today.
Hi, Warren Abraham Consulting Technologies, your one-stop technology shop. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you. In mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
It is time to wrap up our program for today with a few announcements. Don't forget about the Strive Wellness Run, annual wellness run that is going on during the Steele County Free Fair dates. It is Saturday, August 22nd, co-sponsored by the Owatonna Noon Rotary Club, Owatonna Hospital, part of Alina Health, Owatonna High School, and Steele County Free Fair. There are two components this year. There is a 4-mile run and a 2-mile fitness walk. There is a break to getting registered ahead of time, $25 and ahead, $30 the day of the race itself, and it's just a great thing. I know a lot of people participate in this. You can pre-register, please, by August 13th, that's tomorrow, to take advantage of the reduced fee, and that is at strive.owatonnarotaryclub.org to get to that one. Another thing coming up, Calling All Pirates, come set sail at River Springs Water Park in Owatonna on August 23rd. That is a Sunday at 10 a.m. Build a boat and paddles out of cardboard and duct tape. And it says right here, yes, it does float. Race against other participants in their boats made out of the same materials. They can be teams of 1 or 2 people of any age. Prizes will be awarded for the first place team. Stop by Owatonna Parks and Recreation to pick up a rules packet. The fee is just $10 per team. The deadline is this Friday to register for that one, so you want to make sure that you get involved in that if you'd like to be. Just a reminder, too, that coming up on Friday, August 28th, is the next of the Owatonna Parks and Recreation movie in the park, in Central Park, and it will be Big Hero 6. If I got the name of the movie right, that's the one with the big poofy white guy. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. You can call Parks and Rec for more information. Coming up on Friday's program, we will have a preview of the Steele County Free Fair because we're kicking it off. So we'll see you then. Have a good day.